forward in a way I think consistent with what common sense indicates and what the majority of people want. The other thing that changed radically in this period of time was something that San Jose has always been pretty good at, and that's its ability to have a multicolored view. The colors have blurred significantly in San Jose. We can argue about the morality of the Vietnam War, but one thing is for sure. Inner city neighborhoods, our schools, abandoned mom and pop stores were radically changed for the better by immigrants from Southeast Asia. It was an important and significant event in our history, and it was something that was an overwhelming positive. The Hispanic community grew larger and larger during this 20-year period of time, and they've always felt rightfully that they had a special place in San Jose. After all, they founded it, and have contributed in any variety of ways. I looked at a junior prom photo of my great niece, and I was just struck by the diversity of individuals there. So if you want any confirmation of what I'm saying here, get a picture of any junior prom group of 10 or 12 or 14 kids. Very often they'll perhaps be relatives of yours, and take a look at how well different groups have blended here in our valley, public or private high schools. It's the same, and I think it's one of the really most positive things in our valley. So we bridged some very difficult times here. We created a great tax base in North San Jose from a bunch of verdant orchards. We did things that I think we probably had to do, but certainly didn't seem quite so easy at the time in rebuilding downtown. My friend Dan McFadden said that downtown is a little bit like the dog that plays the piano. It's not amazing that it plays occasionally off tune. What's amazing and remarkable is that it's able to play at all. When you think of how far downtown is down now, and the fact that we have the building blocks here that I won't enumerate that you all enjoy, I think is a testimony to people in this community supporting common sense and a common thread of if you hold on and put one foot ahead of the other and wait for the best of the town, wait for an arena, wait for the types of rebuilding of neighborhoods that's going on now in and around the downtown, that it's going to pay off in the long run for our city. The person that kept his eye on the ball during those 3 mayorships was a guy that I consider the best public servant San Jose's had in the modern era, Frank Taylor. I think he was extraordinary in the way he focused, and I think Harry Mamergenis is a pretty good successor there. I also like to see a city manager that isn't traveling from far to get a job, somebody like Deb Yoni, who was born and raised and is going to spend, I think, the rest of her life here. I like that consistency with the past, and I think it's a very important thing. Dark clouds, of course, come again. That's the nature of life, and that's certainly the nature of cities. You have to build them every day. You have to make sure you don't allow mistakes and misjudgments to cloud you so much that you're not able to make the adjustments and adaptations that are necessary. Business failures are certainly abounding. Somebody told me a long time downtown, and these pet stores closed. I remember looking in the window there when I was 8 years old. It's incredible. Some of these things are just a normal transition. It's life, it's death, people and businesses go different directions. But there's something I think poignant and unsettling about so many businesses. I mean, it looks like the end of a Quentin Tarantino movie. There's so many businesses and bodies scattered in the community and not just in the downtown. We have an incredible municipal budget situation that only gets worse every time you pick up the paper. The pension situation is really, it's a Lehman Brothers type of ticking time bomb. And what's I think most important is people know what should be done. It's very clear. You're not saying that certain public employees aren't worth this much, or their retirement benefits for a police officer that have the most incredibly difficult job imaginable, that they're not worth it in some sense. But there's a more basic thing. If you don't have the money, then you can't pay it. And it seems that that's kind of elusive to people sometimes in public office. We pulled together in many ways, and I think we've had some incredible successes. And I think the hotels of San Jose willing to tax themselves. Dan Fenton did a very good job there. And not only enlarge the convention center, but make a nice little swimming pool for skateboarders is something that not only is important, but bright young men like that should not be forgotten. Look around when you look really thought the election of Chuck Reed, who is kind of like Will Rogers, he belongs to no organized party, he's a Democrat. It's a little bit like me. I thought that he was going to begin a new era where people would look at San Jose and its politics a little bit like we used to in the old days, in a nonpartisan way, not Democrats and Republicans. Chuck's a good man. I admire him very much, and I think he's made some significant progress. But, you know, we get thrown back. We see what happened to Barry Swinson in June. It was rectified yesterday, but after incredible efforts by people in the business community. You know, somebody like Barry has been in business for 3 generations, you know, 4 counting Martin Manny and Case. You know, if they get treated that way, that's not the San Jose tradition. That's not the way we built a tremendous city here. That's not the way we progressed. And it's something that I think, particularly in tough times, we have to pull together on. You know, we've always had our local version of E pluribus unum out of many one, that people have worked together here of varying political parties, of varying religions, of varying ethnic stripes, and they've been able to make an incredible success for themselves and their family. You know, we have a good council. You know, Pierluigi Oliverio is really one of the thoughtful people on there. You got to read his blogs on San Jose Inside, his vigilante squad for cleaning up medium strips. I mean, they're really very thought-provoking and on point. You know, I admire the stories of a lot of people on the council, like Madison Wynn and Judy Churko. You know, Kansas Chu has some real good small business sense. Pete Constantine, when you take them individually, Sam Ricardo has great leadership skills. You take them individually, and they're really a very impressive group, and they're going to have to be, because the challenge they face are as difficult as anybody in our history. And they're challenges that are going to happen, I think, in a very accelerated order here. You know, I think for my money, the best speaker in this valley is a guy by the name of Luis Valdez. And he quoted a great man and said, "Give me a place to stand and I'll move the world." Well, that's always been the San Jose tradition. You know, it seems some of the time we can get a little bit bothered and think that the only thing we can produce, we're so timid now by minor blow-ups like the Fallon and Quetzalcoatl thing, that we can only produce tinker toys and colored animals and chimerical types of exhibits in public art. Well, what about honoring some of the significant people that I mentioned earlier in my comments? Are we so timid about our history? Are we so afraid of what we've accomplished here? You know, do some people, at least in public office, have a real inferiority complex? If so, then move on and let people who don't have an inferiority complex move to the front. Because that is the San Jose tradition. And it's also, in that San Jose tradition, an antidote for cynicism and an antidote for many of the ills I think we face today. We have great venture capitalists, we have great small business people, we have a very agile and innovative set of industries here. We have all the ingredients to bring us through this tough time, just as we went through the other tough times. And let me say that, in conclusion, that some people preserve our history like Leonard McKay, some are pioneers like Janet Gray Hayes, some are builders like Frank Taylor or Barry Swinson, some form opinion like my friend Bob Key, Barbara Marshman out of the Mercury, some run businesses with their whole life and effort like Steve Morgenhagen on South First Street. Some play movies and swim like Jim Stewart there. Some start mariachi festivals like Marcella Avalos. And some, a little closer to home here, give new life to people like Gary Silver. And some do the simplest and most important things like Bill Swings, like Julie Matsushima. You know, I love U2, and they have a great song called "These Are the Hands That Built America." Well, to me, when you look around our community, you see those hands that built San Jose. And they're very clear and they're very apparent. These are the people who looked at what had to be done, put one foot ahead of the other. If things had to be reformed, they did it. If things had to be rebuilt, they did it. If they had to prove themselves, they weren't doing it for themselves. They were doing it again and again because it was the right thing to do. And it was done in a nonpartisan way. It was done in a thoughtful way. It was done with the idea of what are we doing for the next generation, not one, what are we doing for ourselves. And they proceeded to do that in every phase of San Jose history. And I trust with that as our historical precedent that we can do no less. Thank you.